Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Welcome back to another episode of a grown ass man trying to clang two rocks together and understand his code base and figure out why his app is not working. What's good, everybody? I'm early today. Can I just say I'm a little bit early today? I was like, you know what? I'm always late. Why don't I try to be early for once? Why not give it a go? So, I want to open up the stream by just saying we've had a huge milestone in a couple areas. One of them being we just crossed 40,000 subscribers, man. If I had a stream deck right now, I'd be like pressing that like surprise button going woo, like applause, like the crowd applauding. You know what I'm talking about? Which is pretty insane. I did not expect to hit it as quickly as I did. Look at that, 24th of July. That's like 600 motherfuckers right there. Like, what the hell? In one freaking day. Like, the growth rate on the channel has been insane. Let's go look at the last year. A year ago, I was on 1,000 subscribers. 6 months ago, I was on roughly 1,000. So can I hit 100,000 by the end of the year? That is the goal. We're going to aim for 100,000. Please, God. Please, man. Please. Please subscribe, man. Please subscribe. In some other news, our app has also crossed $5,428 ARR. Now, that does not mean that I have received that money, but it does mean that subscribers are growing, more annual users are joining. Pretty cool. How do I pronounce my name? It's Doobie Booby. Doobie Booby. Wow, that's nearly as many as Mr. Beast, bro. I wish, bro. Actually, I don't even know if I wish that. I don't know if I'd want to be as big as Mr. Beast. On the other hand, as well, a new tool is launched by Jack. Everyone knows Jack. He released a tool called Buzz, which has been creating a lot of buzz, and it's pretty interesting. Oh, this guy got retweeted by him. Oh yeah, also Kimi K3 dropped their papers for the open source model. Some stuff's happened, guys. Some stuff's happened. But what's really interested me is this buzz thing. And it's interested me because there's a few concepts in there that I feel like they've done really, really well. Monthly active users is not very high. It's only like 40. We aiming for like, we want to hit at least 100 monthly active users. The churn rate was really high for Ace. I do want to mention that. Should probably close this. But the churn rate was really high for Ace. Like on the first month, and it's probably due to this dip right here. But on the first month, we literally had like a 60% churn rate. Anyone that subscribed to Ace with a monthly subscription basically canceled their subscription except for like a handful of people. So the churn rate is extremely high on Ace. I'm not going to lie. This month we've been a bit better, but this month we've also had a lot more annual subscriptions. So it's kind of hard to tell if it actually has been better or not, because more people are just paying for the annual because it's a good deal. The annual is a really good deal. It's like $750 a month or something. But yeah, Jack launched this thing called Buzz, which is actually really interesting because it's basically Slack, but for AI agents, and then you can have teammates in the channels as well talking to the agents. And I feel like they've done a few concepts that I want. MRR is like around 500 right now. I got a monthly for Ace today. Was that you, Mabias? Appreciate you, gang. But they've done this concept really interesting because it's basically a group chat for your AI agents, and you can kind of configure them in this channel. And it's made me realize that how important the messenger interface is. Because currently our messenger interface is a little bit bland. And I'm thinking I might need to improve it a little bit because the actual messaging experience inside of Ace is not very good. So one thing I did really like as well is when an agent is working, you can see, where does he bring it up? It's like right at the start. You can kind of see it working down at the bottom, on the bottom right hand side, you can see there. And he can now click on that activity and he can see what they're doing. I feel like that's a huge upgrade that we could implement as well. Like right now you don't really know what the agents are doing inside of Ace. So yeah, I'm thinking today I want to tackle a few things. I need to look at AI Agent Village from AI Digest. What's that? Doobie Booby. Yes, that's how you pronounce my name, Barton. Isn't that linear? Is linear like this? I've only ever seen linear from the Kanban perspective, where it's like got the chopped up tables and you can put them in like a project management tool. I've also noticed Monday has been going for the agentic kind of product management tool as well, which is interesting. Bug fixes, bug fixes, bug fixes. All right, so I also want to do things slightly differently today. I want to code. I want to not use Conductor as much. And I'm going to try using Claude and Codex. Mainly because, they've renamed it ChatGPT. Mainly because there have been quite a lot of updates on these two apps recently. And I've got a couple videos coming out where I want to talk more about them. And so I want to get a bit more familiar with these two things. So let's work inside of here. One of them being that Codex is inside ChatGPT. Yep, ChatGPT now has ChatGPT Work, which is a direct competitor to Claude's Co-work. However, this actually runs on a VM. So it can do tasks for you while your computer is closed, which is something that Claude Co-work does not do yet. Unless you press like a couple buttons. I think you got to press like this dispatch button or something. Dispatch. I think this is what you got to do. Yeah. Like they've got it disconnected here. But GPT lets you do it just on the fly. You don't need to do nothing. It's connected to your phone, connected to your computer. Like it's not done weirdly. Also, GPT has this neat little feature where you can actually manage your left-hand side like chat history. So I can literally go in here, set up a scheduled task and to be like, organize my threads every 20 minutes with emojis and titles explaining where they're at. So if a thread was active, for example, I might have 5 chats active. It would organize them with like ticks and, where titles and stuff. Pretty handy. So let's get straight into it, guys. First things first, I I never really know if my app's functional after a big vibe coding session. So I haven't tested dev yet, but we're looking to do an update soon because we've fixed a couple issues. This is the grayed out button layer without asking. Merge bottom up. Actually, wait, I should probably stop. This is in review. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit of a head start from you guys before I woke up super early, right? So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just get started and then I'll just live stream when I'm like in the middle of it. That way I'm a bit more fresh. AI Village is a village with AI on computer. They're talking together and making stuff together, and it's up since like 2024. Interesting. Interesting. Currently, we have the poll set to 50-50. There you go. All right, let's open up Ace. Enough dilly-dallying. Let's get this going. Oh yeah, I figured out why my Chrome extension was closing, by the way. I just sent the report to Fable, and it's basically told me that anytime that I use my Chrome on full screen, something happens with this top bar that Mac OS doesn't like, and it ends up closing it. So, yeah. Alrighty. Let's open up Ace Dev. The app that I was using just before, Lewis, this one is called Conductor. So it lets me have GPT review Claude's work really easily, which is pretty good. I've noticed Opus 5 is pretty good when it comes to giving it a task. All right, Ace Dev opening up pretty nicely. We are sharpening the pencils. Another thing I want to do is also we need to open up Claude Design, and we need to get to designing a few different things. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm looking to improve the chat interface as a whole. And I'm looking to also sign in real quick. I cleared my cache, thinking that might help my Chrome from being as lame as it was, but why did it get me into looking at Claude Design here, mate? Yeah, where'd the Claude Design link go? Claude AI, Anthropic, Claude Design. I think it's this one. It's like 4 links down. There we go. All right. So let's open up Ace. Oh yeah, we're also in the middle of redesigning the onboarding. So I'll just resume this. The main thing being the onboarding for a new person looking at Ace for the first time is a little bit confusing. So I'll let that go for a little bit. Let's open up Conductor. These are running. Nice. I am now Lewis. Yeah, I mean, your username says Lewis Smith 6094. You're lagging like crazy. Bro, what do you mean? I fixed my Wi-Fi today, bro. My Wi-Fi speeds are fast, bro. Look at this shit. Okay. All right. Not as fast as... Oh, okay. It's getting there. It's getting there. 307. Yo, Luis. Is that fast, chat? Is that good Wi-Fi? I feel like that's pretty good. In Australia, I'm going to say that's decent. Last night, it was like closer to 600, but I've got a bunch of chats open and stuff, so it's at that. I feel like that's decent. All right. Let me have a look at this OBS. OBS is looking good too. I don't think I'm lagging, man. I think you tripping, bro. No, that's shit. What are you on, Vince? You need to have 1,000 plus? What? Says who? Before I redesign the onboarding, a few things to pin down. What should Ace's onboarding actually teach now? Agent team on a board, missions handoff, team chat, you talk to the team, they work out loud. Previewer and build and open. Automatic routing. Explore a few options. I'll say explore a few options, but kind of this. How many screens before they're in the app? Explore a few options. The detection scan. What's realistic? Ace can genuinely scan the machine for installed CLIs. It can check, but it's fast. Scan needs to be padded theatrical. I kind of like the fact that it needs to be padded and theatrical, but yeah. What's the true minimum to use Ace? Any one model CLI. Where does onboarding live? I mean, Claude specifically, any other model plus. Yeah, any one model CLI. Where does onboarding live? Card modal over the blurred app, like today. App revealed at the end. Explore a few options. We'll go that. I like explore a few options. Light or dark? I'm leaning towards follow system, show me light. Structure and flow. What should the three alternatives differ on? The connect modal interaction, specifically visual direction / feel. Can I select multiple? No. For the manual connect fallback, your carousel idea versus alternatives. Big cards, one primary recommended. I like the idea of like a carousel slider picker, and the user is able to kind of slide through different options, and it's like kind of like picture like what a click, like it's accompanied with like a clicking noise, and it goes. I just realized Whisper Flow ain't even gonna be able to translate that. That's so funny. Didn't even try. Like I would say almost like a slot machine, but it's sideways. Highlight the middle model with models on the side that are darkened. Whatever model is in the middle is the selected model. Is it cold where you at, Doobie? Yes, sir. It is pretty freezing. Have you read the book Hooked? Talks about product design to keep people coming back and reducing churn in first 30 days. Do you recommend it to me and her? What is better, OpenClaw or KimiClaw or ChatGPT or Claude or Ace app? Honestly, right now, I'd probably say Claude. Claude is probably the best right now. Straight Claude. But Ace is moving exponentially fast. Whatever model is in the middle is selected. I lost my train of thought. I was going to look up that book, Hooked. By you got to what's the book? Who's the author? Is it this one? Hooked, How to Build Habits Forming Products. Is this one? How to Build Habit Forming Products? What's the author? Who's the author's name? To mean her. I'm in the market for books right now. GitHub CLI, where does it belong? A separate later optional step. Tone of the copy. Playful, a bit of personality. Can a user skip connecting entirely and explore Ace? No one model is mandatory. Anything else about today that the old onboarding gets wrong? Nothing that I can really think of. The old onboarding, the biggest issue is that a non-technical person coming into ACE needs to feel welcome and understand what's going on. Currently, when you download ACE, it walks you through a process and then it bombards you with like 10 different model options, and then it'll say that none of them are connected. Then it requires you to press a button. It presses the button and automatically downloads the CLI. It handles all that for you, which is obviously good for a non-technical person, but it still feels scary because if I'm someone who's never touched code before and I only have a Claude subscription and I download ACE and I connect my Claude subscription, I then have a bunch of big red logos like ChatGPT and Grok and Olama that are all crossed out and red that make me feel like I'm not getting the most out of ACE. When you realistically can get up to 80%, 90% of ACE from a single model. So the whole concept is being able to onboard these new users who are non-technical and have them feel welcome, have them feel like this is what they needed. Because right now, the whole gap that we're trying to solve is ACE is meant to be this all-welcoming app that allows users to create these more complex workflows without having to know all the terminology and technicalities. However, as soon as they are dropped inside of ACE, we bombard them with all these technicalities. It's almost like a double-edged sword right now. So we need to make the onboarding feel welcome to non-technical people. Also, do not use any M dashes because I hate them. All right. Oh, you can even add things here. All right. We're going to let that run. We're going to let that simmer. Use Mobin for the onboarding flow. Oh, I have been hearing about Mobin. They're in my DMs right now. They want me to do a video for them. So I ain't going to give them that free promo, bro. It's a book about UX to improve your product retention. It's by Nir Eyal. UX to improve your product retention. All right, I'm gonna check it out. Dude, I'm a big Audible fan, man. I listen to that shit on Audible. I've read this one. This is marketing. Yeah. All right, good to know, good to know. All right, that's gonna cook. I'm gonna let that simmer for a little bit and we will come back to it. Next up, we are going to just make sure conductor's clean. I built your fix, it broke the feature, so I disclosed instead. What's going on here? Okay, cool. Let me get another review on that in a second. That's also being dealt with. I can see, I can get rid of that. Yep. The GPT 5.6 Soul and Opus 5 combo, guys. It's undefeated. Undefeated combo. Off by default. Okay, cool. Another thing is we need to improve our settings. Dude, your sponsor about Ace sucked. You gotta improve. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate the honest feedback. I agree. It did suck. It did suck. Did you watch the last live stream yesterday? For those that missed out on yesterday's live, we basically explored the conversion rates for my app. And they were very bad. Let's just put it that way. Like extremely bad. Like so bad, I didn't even know it could get that bad, kind of bad. Let me log in. I think I signed in with Google. Like, just to put it in perspective a little bit, this video, Hermes agent, 30,000 views. All right. If we go into the analytics, you can see that if we scroll down to retention, this is where the ad plays at 25%. So people actually stayed to watch it because it only ever drops down to 21%. A 4% reduction in users is not bad. So if we do the maths, 21% of 30,000 viewers, right, is 6,300 people. So 6,300 people watched this ad, okay? Just remember that number. Now, if we go into the chat, you will see that of the 6,300 people, we had a total of 23 or 8. It's one of these numbers. That is like the worst possible conversion rate ever. Like, let's just say hypothetically if it was 8, which it probably is, that would make our conversion rate 0.0012%, which would leave it as 0.1% conversion rate. Dude, that is incredibly shit. It talks about what you are dealing with when it comes to onboarding, how to design the initial experience so the user feels a quick win and feels motivated to use your app more. Okay, I'm going to check it out. For those who weren't there yesterday, do be crashed out. The problem was that the ad was a nothing burger. I agree. Even people don't just need to watch an ad, but also get intrigued by it. I agree. I think, the ad was completely a nothing burger. I think it's just like spitting feature after feature after feature. Like, I got PostHog to analyze my ad, and it came with some pretty valuable feedback. The hook qualifies people out immediately. The value proposition is abstract. Features, no transformation. The CTA is the weakest part. Mid-roll is structurally the hardest placement. It gave some pretty good feedback, which I'm going to consider. I will say, like, look, I'm not going to say that I tried my hardest to make an app, to make a mid-roll sponsorship that converted, okay? I'm not going to sit here and say, yes, I tried really hard. This was purely just a test. I was already tired from editing a long-ass video, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to quickly film this just so I have something. And now we're going to work on improving it, okay? So the next mid-roll should be better than the last, and the next one after that should be better than that one. I guess it's also worth considering, and I didn't really think of this. Let me give this a refresh. It's bugging out a little bit. I think you integrate more subtly so it feels like less of an ad. For example, when you do a video on AI model comparison, use ACE to compare the models instead of Conductor. I usually use the terminal, but yes, I agree. I think integrating ACE into the actual video is almost pivotal in getting ACE to grow, because then it no longer feels like I think one of the biggest things in marketing is you don't want to make it feel like you're force feeding someone. You want to make it feel like they've stumbled upon something cool. So by showcasing ACE inside the video, naturally, the user themselves can be like, yo, that's a pretty cool app. I wonder what it's called. And they naturally like look for it because of how you've used it in your video. That is like the best marketing possible. So moving forward, I'm going to have to think about how the integration of ACE could look. in a way that doesn't feel like I'm force feeding them. Because I can already see, like, if I use Ace to do a comparison of Fable 5 versus Grok 4.5, for example, people are going to feel like, oh, well, you didn't really do it inside a harness that people are going to be using. So I can already see that being an issue. I think the way to do it would be like almost mentioning it. Like one of my biggest comments actually, and I think we could lean into this a little more. One of the biggest, where'd the Chrome tab go? One of my biggest comments on YouTube, specifically for the comparison videos, is this. Let me see if I can find it. Fable. All right, I can't find it, but basically the whole concept was that what if you got Fable 5 or a smarter model to control multiple cheaper models? I'm just trying to understand and ideate in my head, because the way that YouTube works is like the packaging, right? What is the thumbnail? What is the title? So in my head, I'm trying to package how does a video where you have Fable orchestrating a bunch of cheaper models, what is the title of that video to hook someone? Because I can't quite think of it in my head. Like, for example, if I had Fable up here and we could have orchestrated multiple Grok 4.5s, for example. Like a video idea I want to make is like Fable orchestrates 20 Gemma 4s or something. Something super stupid that gets clicks that you can do inside of Ace. I'm just trying to think what the title of that video is, because it needs to hook. And I can't quite seem to get it. Maybe it could be like GPT, it could be Opus, Sonnet 5s. And it tries to beat an Opus 5 grade thing for cheaper. Or we try to find the cheapest way to do a certain task. I don't know what it is. But I totally understand and I agree. And I think we're all on the same page. I just need to execute. But yeah, appreciate the feedback, guys. Thanks. I appreciate the honesty and the tough love that you guys are giving me. Okay, all 8 findings were valid. I fixed them. I'm going to give it another review. State 2 commits. All right, review. This is good, I think. Yep. I might remove that orchestration. I didn't even get them to check this. So I'll just get rid of it. If it becomes a problem, I'll fix it. All right. Let's see if the preview page works. To be honest, I don't think most people even understand why they even need orchestration. That's true. That's true. I think for me personally, the biggest use case for orchestration is reducing your token usage. So by orchestrating, you get to use the brain of a smart model, but then you get to use the hands of a cheaper model. And that, in my head, is the biggest reason why someone would want to be orchestrating. Because at the end of the day, if you didn't care about costs, you would just use the most expensive model for everything. But if you care about costs, but you want the level of these expensive models, then you do orchestration. Now, what I was going to do something. Okay, preview. Okay, inside of code, we were working on the Ace board preview. Let me just see what this said, because I didn't actually look at it properly. Boom. Get rid of all these merged things. Okay. So it says is merged to dev. It turned out there were 3 independent gaps. Any one was enough to leak the spam. The main culprit, when a plan was detected on a message that wasn't stamped with an orchestration round, the code took an early return that handed back the raw text. The stripper only removed a nice discovery along the way. A proper task assignments card already existed in the code base and was wired to nothing. It's now live and collapsible. Build and verified, but I've stopped short of installing. I confirmed the capture bridge is actually inside the package bundle, so screenshots will activate once it's installed. I did not install it deliberately. The installer does. Copying when you're ready to quit Ace Dev and run, or just say the word once you've quit and I'll run it. Do we need to reinstall the package? Because Ace Dev updates automatically from a restart using GitHub repos. That made a lot of sense. So maybe you can lead with that next time. That's fair. That's fair. It's yeah. I mean, look, beggars can't be choosers, but I am just a little bit. I don't want people to use Ace because it can save them money. I know that sounds selfish and stupid. You should be able to, have anyone and everyone be using Ace for whatever reason they want. But in my head, I guess it's just me having a little soft spot for my product that I've built. But I'm just like, damn, man, like the only reason you're using Ace is so you can save a couple dollars. Like it's like a little bit of a sour thought, but I understand that beggars can't be choosers, and I think you're right. I should give it a go. I think I should reduce costs. You can use Ace to reduce costs for you and make your subscriptions last longer. That's kind of the point, the sales point. Yeah. And look, if that sells, then I guess I can't be mad. Look at me being salty. Also, which max subscription do you have? Do you have 5x or 20x? I've got the 20x, Bimbe. I got the 20x max. I've noticed now that I'm using Opus 5, it lasts a lot longer. I think we're going to reset today, if I'm not mistaken. We reset in 14 hours. Okay, so we got to do a couple things. We need to pump through our GPT 5.6 Sol usage, and we need to pump through our Claude usage. So what's this saying? Good question, and it depends on which of the 2 update channels carries the change. Let me verify rather than assume. Confirm the runtime bundle ships only at all. Now let me check the second. Verified. The answer is no. Restart won't deliver it. There are 2 separate update channels, and they carry different things. Runtime channel, automatic on restart. Desktop channel. The screenshot captures lives in the desktop auto updater. It's a one-time cost once that app is installed. The capture bridge is permanently in your shell, and every future improvement to the screenshot behavior, what gets captured now, how it's attached, is runtime code that flows through the normal automatic channel again. The build is done and verified. I confirm the capture bridge is inside the package bundle. It just needs AceDeb before quit before installing, because the installer deletes the old bundle before quit and say go or run. Run. Okay. Let's get this running. Could do A versus B approach videos, teaching about orchestration while also demoing Ace. That's a good point. We definitely could do that. In fact, I think what I should just do, because like I know that when I do a head-to-head video, it generates views. Claude Opus 5 versus Fable generates views. Kimi K3 versus Fable generates views. Codex versus Fable generates views. It's a system that I'm able to repeat, and I'm just going to double down and keep doing it. Now, I've got a really solid framework that I can just repeat over and over again, and I just need to figure out now, how can I integrate Ace into this framework that improves the watching experience so people can see Ace without me having to advertise it, and it just makes the whole experience better. Maybe I can even just ask AI. Maybe I'm thinking I don't need to think too deep about it. I'm just gonna ask chat. All right, so gotta log in first. Why do I even go on the website? I'll just get rid of that. Open up ChatGPT. Let's go inside of GPT here, and I'll just ask it here. All right, so I've found a strategy on YouTube that works pretty well. It's a head-to-head video. Basically, anytime a new model comes out, we can compare it to a pre-existing model that everyone likes. So for example, Opus 5 recently dropped. I compared it with Fable 5. Kimi K3 dropped last week. I compared it to Fable 5. Codex dropped, compared it to Fable 5. And so what I'm thinking is in the middle of these videos, I add a sponsorship segment, a mid-roll sponsorship that viewers watch. Now, the mid-roll sponsorship feels very bad at converting users. Yo, is my live stream a bit laggy? My OBS is saying everything's fine. Okay. So what I want to do instead now is integrate Ace into my video somehow without making it feel forced and without making it feel like by improving the viewership experience. So for example, we have a usage dashboard. And when we compare these two models, we pull up the usage dashboard and we're able to verify how much tokens each model uses, the predicted cost of those tokens, etc., etc. Is there additional things that we could implement using Ace that could make the viewing experience better while naturally promoting Ace without it feeling forced? Could you give me a list of ideas? And instead of asking GPT, it might even be worth asking it inside of Conductor, because Conductor is connected to, you know what, we can use Opus. Screw it. Because now it has context of Ace, because it's got the code base. So that should be better. All right, I'll get rid of that. Looks like Claude design. Ooh, that looks clean. That looks clean as. Hey, come on in. Ace is a small team of AI. Ace is a small team of AI. I don't know. Does that make sense? I feel like grammatically that's incorrect. Ace is a small team of AI that works together on the thing you are trying to make. You say what you want in normal words, they sort out the rest. Nice. Show me. You talk, they get on with it. Make me a site for my dog walking business. On it, 3 pages. That's pretty cool. Yo, I think A's winning already. I don't even know if I need to look at the others. There is a board if you want it. Every job is laid out so you can see who is doing what. Poke around or ignore it completely. The chat is all you really need. You never have to touch it. Ask the chat and the board sorts itself out. So that's another thing. Being able to ask the chat to reconfigure the board, I think is a huge upgrade to Ace that would really solve a lot of problems. Okay, last bit. Having a quick look around. Ooh, this is clean. Yep, that looks right. Add another model. Good news, you already have what you need. One model gets you almost all of Ace. Add more whenever you feel like it. Add another model, optional. Ooh. Ooh. Yo, this is looking clean. This is looking clean. This is looking clean as. Bro, your mic drop just woke me up, LMAO. Dude, I'm so sorry. That's actually my bad. Apologies. Bro, did you actually make $50,000 from this app? How did you do marketing? I did not make $50,000 specifically just from this app. You can look in the description of all the apps we've made along our journey so far. Also, yeah, it's looking incredible. Thank you, Emilio. Also, get some sleep, bro. Like, if you're tired, bro, rest up. Okay, cool. Half is looking great. Let's see what 2 models looks like. Okay. And then nothing. And then it makes you pick. Okay. I would kind of want it to show this while saying it's got additional models. I don't know. Okay. Oh, this is the whole thing. Okay. Studio. We'll do 1 model studio. Okay. Hey, come on in. Show me around. You talk, they get on with it. Why'd it start small? See how it starts super skinny and then it gets bigger? Okay. A model is the engine, you only need 1. Can I make this smaller? Like, it's kind of in the way. I guess I'd chuck it there. Yep, that looks right. Add another model. Okay. Yeah, that looks right. Dude, okay, studio's looking good. Chat. Dude, that's pretty freaking cool. Chat is cool. Bro, I've been vibe coding for 12 hours now. I'm so tired of these bugs in my app. Bro. Dude, I feel you, bro. I feel you. I feel like that I can never escape the bugs in my own app, man. Guys, what are we thinking? I think I got to set up a poll. Please help me decide which one you guys like the best. Onboarding direction. Please take this seriously because this is actually going to directly impact the onboarding of ACE. A, half. B is going to be studio. And then C is going to be chat. Okay, the poll is up, guys. So I'm going to go through each option again. We have chat. Hey, I'm Ace. I'm a small team of AI that makes things with you. You say what you want in normal words and we get on with it. Hi there. What do you actually do? Okay. This right here is the whole product. A chat, you ask the team plans, it builds it and checks each other on the way. Someone asked us for a dog walking website this morning. Took 9 minutes. Okay, I am in. I kind of like this. I need 1 model connected. This is the engine I run on and 1 is genuinely enough. Shall I have a look at what is already on your computer? Yes, please. Yo, the chat is interesting. Yep, that looks right. Add another model. I like the chat because it feels like a game and it's interactive. But it does, I don't know if it's the right one. Let's have a look at A again. This is probably my personal favorite. Nice, show me. You talk, they get on with it. And you still get a little bit of that chat. Feels cleaner. There is a board if you want it. Okay? You never have to touch it. Ask the chat and the board sorts itself out. Having a quick look around. Yep, that looks right. Add another model. Okay. I'm thinking A, guys. I'll show you B again for those that missed out on B. Come on in. Show me around. See, B has this issue with the team chat being a bit wonky. But, I mean, if you can look past it, it's pretty nice. Makes sense. And then this is gauging, and then add another model. You can like pick the different models. Actually, I'm good. Yep, that looks right. I'm going to close the poll in a couple minutes. Chat isn't bad. I just don't think it's a good place for onboarding though. Yeah. A is clean. A is clean. We're getting a communal agreement on A. Tough choice between A and C. Dude, honestly, C is really cool. Like, is there anywhere we could implement C that isn't the onboarding? Because the onboarding feels a bit too particular for this to work inside of it. A is winning. I think that chat is going to be complicated to debug and B is good. Yeah, that's fair. The chat would be pretty complex to debug. And then you got to open Ace button here. Yes, help or like self-debugging. Chat actually makes it feel like an app, more of an app itself. C is too much work. C is too much work. Okay, fair. All right, I think we're kind of. All right, we got 10 votes. We got 10 votes. I'm gonna close up the poll in. I'm gonna set a timer. Why am I using my phone for a timer? Timer. I'll set a 60-second timer. All right, let's go. We got 10 votes, 50% on A, 20% on B, 30% on C. I'm going to show you them again really quickly. Actually, I probably can't. I'll show you the intros. This is A, this is B, and this is C. Final verdict. 36 seconds. A, B, and C. Oh, looks like it's leaning more towards A. We got 20 seconds left. 15. I'm leaning towards A too, to be honest. So it's good to know that we're all kind of in agreement. Intense music playing. Congrats for 40k subs, bro. Hey, Sanatic. What up? Ending the poll. Yo, shout out to Sanatic, guys. He's the goated ass editor that I have helping me out with the channel. He's really freaking good. So shout out Sanatic. Yo, Sanatic, I'll get to your messages after the stream, by the way. I'm not ignoring you. All right, looks like the winner is A. B is a little more complicated. C is rather plain as it is mainly text, but A seems balanced. Okay, cool. Let's lock in A. One thing, and I don't even know if I want to touch it because it's work, but this section right here at the end, I really like the flicker, like when you add another model. And I kind of want the user to be able to see it, but I guess they can kind of just have it autonomously show. So if they don't find a model, it should just show the picker, right? Yeah, like this. So this is nice. Okay. Yeah, there's something just at the end with this last bit isn't fully sitting right with me. So I'm trying to think. I think we can leave it. All right, let's leave it. Let's lock in A, half. create standalone for me to share with Claude. All right, we got our onboarding set up. Let's have a look at this real quick. Oh, okay. So this is, I was asking for feedback, remember? For the mid-roll sponsorships. Sorry, we're a bit all over the place. The usage dashboard you're planning to film doesn't exist yet. Yes, it does. 2 traps you don't point at a camera. The good news is buried the principle. All right, this is way too much text. Can you simplify it down so I can just get the main TLDR? Okay, so it looks like it split it up into tiers. The mid-roll converts badly because it breaks a contract with the viewer. They came for a verdict and you pause the verdict to sell something. Ace doesn't have to break anything because the hardest problem in your format is credibility, and this is exactly what Ace sells. You prompted them differently. That wasn't really Opus 5. You cherry-picked the run. Comment is a hole in your video and a feature in the product. Never pitched it. Never pitch it. Show the receipts and let the viewer conclude they need the same rig to check you. I don't know about that. Both models on screen running at the same time. We already do that. The provider route line as your proof of identity. Okay. Race the run logs, not the output. Let them grade each other. That is actually not a bad idea. So one way we could integrate Ace into my future videos is by getting Ace to then grade the work of the agents and kind of just using it as like a additional add-on, as like a little opinion, like, oh yeah, Ace found that the website or the game that it built, the code was a bit weird, or the thing was a bit laggy, the frame rate wasn't very high. It's able to do that kind of back-end review. I don't mind that. Let them grade each other. The reviewer temperature dial, and then what I could do is I could show, I figured it out. It's just clicked in my brain, guys. It's just clicked in my brain. I know what I'm going to do now. I know what I'm going to do. All right, so picture this. We have a head-to-head video. We have Claude versus GPT. And then they make the same app or website or game or whatever. And then we showcase specifically this integration, where we get these 2 models to then debate over which one's better. And that is a little integration we add at the video that naturally helps engage viewers, because it's like, oh cool, 2 of the models are debating with each other what they think the best model is, what they think the best build is. And then I can also showcase Ace because it's a pretty cool feature that Ace does, where 2 models can talk to each other autonomously without you having to do anything. So I think that is a sell. I think that's a really good idea. That's really neat and handy. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Circle the bug and send it back. The scoreboard panel, a pricing table, cash versus uncash, 1 tree per model. An exported comparison receipt, blinded judging, we already do that. Cost per passing gate as your headline metric, a persistent leaderboard, same model, different harness, planner versus builder relay, top comments picks, next episode's task. Okay. All right. I understand. Everything makes sense to me in the world right now. I think we already gave it that, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, did we? Maybe we didn't. Oh wait, maybe we did. Yeah, we did. Let me give another review. I love that. Hashtag 5 confirmed, and it's damning for my own verification. What was number 5? Number 5 was delegated write access is advertised generally, but rejects every patch containing more than one changed path. So why you got to get them to review each other, guys. Okay, we can get rid of this. Fix local model. Okay, all right. All right, I think we can just quickly look at this. Very quick, and no runs are active. Installing now. Installed and verified. I checked that could have bitten you. Gatekeeper won't block it. Nothing was lost. Start app preview. Okay, let's try this again. Let me get rid of these models. Let me just do something simple. We can do that. Start. Open up the app preview. Let's see if this works. What are you building? I am building ACE, my agentic coding environment. So I did notice that the texting thing happens behind the lead button. Okay. When a model is typing, the text bubble that's meant to show gets hidden. For ACE could produce a final output. Is not isolated. Why is GStack getting involved here, bro? Dude, how has GStack gotten involved here? Let's compact the chat. Okay, we're inside multi-agent. Can you review why we ran into this error? You maybe need to look at last feedback in Discord. Anyone else getting this error off the built-in auto script writer? Something blocked this action for your safety. You can try again or let me know if you'd like to do it yourself. Okay, weird. Fixing. I think this must be due to the Gemini attachment. User ran into a problem specifically with the built-in auto script writer that they receive when going through the onboarding. My guess is that the onboarding is slightly outdated due to a couple of changes that we've made on the board, which makes it stop working. Specifically, maybe the Gemini installation. However, if you look at the screenshot, it doesn't even mention Gemini, it mentions Codex. Something's clearly gone wrong here. Can you look into what the cause may have been? And also run some tests because there might be some other issues that break. I think the key thing that we need to consider is based off what the model we need to consider is the user may only connect a Claude subscription. However, our onboarding takes the user through this process where it connects multiple different subscriptions. So off the rip, it might not even work. All right, let's see. Or as a viewer, sometimes I wonder if I have access to Claude Code and also Codex, then why would I need ACE? What problem is it solving that Claude or Codex alone does solve as well on their own? To delegate tasks and make more done with one prompt. I mean, it's the ability to have them interact with each other autonomously with much more context than you could have gotten with if you just did it with like a skill. Because realistically, if you wanted to, you could download a Claude skill or you could create a plugin that connects Claude to Codex and they are able to send each other prompts. That's totally doable. However, without a harness, like a proper harness involved, the ability for them to talk to each other is limited. And so, the moment that you start using a model and then you start getting it to do things outside of the app or something like that, it becomes a harness. And you got to look at it in the sense of a harness. And so you then need to think, okay, well, what does this harness provide to the model that creates value and makes the output better or whatever? And so in ACE's case, it's the ability for delegation. Let's use it as an example. It's the ability for Fable to know the model, how many models it has underneath it, and the ability to then give it tasks and then review the tasks and then give it more tasks. You can't do that right now without a proper harness. You just can't. You can get it to delegate and you can get it to give a task and then you can get it to get that task back, but you can't get this back and forth situation going. The other thing as well is like, you also can't do this debate sort of system. Like, to get them to go back and forth and debate with each other over and over again until they have an output that they're happy with is a manual process where you copy your Claude message and then paste it into GPT and then copy the GPT message and paste it into Claude. So it's the ability to do these more complex workflows by just dragging, dropping, and connecting the dots. Like, you don't need to create anything. Can agents interact with ACE Preview? Yes, in the next update that I'm working on, Bimbe. It's something like N8N, but for AI, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly how I would describe it. It's like N8N, but for AI. And the fact that you can download it onto your device so it uses your subscriptions is big as well. Because even N8N, you got to use the API keys. Okay. I'll dig into what caused that error. Dots task carried the workspace right. That function first snapshot, every git tracked. The ACE bench repo was 64 committed absolute symlinks versus two relatives one, all from initial commit with gstack. ACE bench conductor workspace inherits them and they point back at bench outside the workspace being isolated. So this is not a false positive had. We need to remove this gstack thing entirely. Please continue with the fix. That's so annoying, bro. G-Stack has haunted me on every corner. This is why I don't like Conductor anymore. Because they've just forced G-Stack down my throat. And now it's affecting the things that I build. I went to your website, but that concern was not addressed, and I am sure some other people have similar hidden objections. Okay. Okay, but does a non-technical person understand why agents should debate? It's a good point. There's like a learning curve. There's like a learning curve. It's like non-technical to intermediate, I guess. But that's a good point, yeah. But that's also the pain point, right? Has an AI ever told you something that isn't true? Have you ever asked an AI a question and then asked a separate model the same question and they've both given you a different answer? I've had that issue myself when I was trying to get find out my sponsorship pricing for YouTube. None of that's ever publicly spoken about. So I asked AI, and Gemini, Claude, GPT all gave me a different answer. And so I had to then manually copy each one's response and go back and forth and finally consolidate it on a final answer. And you can do that autonomously inside of ACE. I'm doing a thought exercise here. I am in marketing. I was in marketing as well, to me no. Before doing all of this, I ran a marketing agency. We grew crypto projects from 0 to 10,000 followers on Twitter, and that's just what we specialized in. I think once all of the bugs are ironed out, Ace will be the best one-shot app. You can probably soon make one app every single day autonomously. And I am just asking things, prospects. Yeah, no, I totally understand what you're trying to do to mean ho. All right, we've got some findings here. Gonna copy that. Yeah, Bimbe, I agree. We gotta iron out all these bugs, man. There's so many of them. It's like every 5th button I press, I gotta like fix something. Let's see what this is saying. Removing GSAC from Ace Bench. Oh, it was inside of Ace Bench. Now verifying against Ace's actual isolation rules. Done. GSAC's gone from both live Ace Bench work trees. The entire Claude skills tree was GStack plus 64 shim sim links. Use Ace inside of Ace. You see, I want to do that, but I'm scared to touch dev and like really royally mess it up. So I've been using Ace Bench instead as like the test dummy. But maybe I just got to rip the Band-Aid. Note that this is happening inside of the ACE app, also known as multi-agent, also known as duocode. The ACE app is a coding environment that I can work on other projects inside of, and we're currently working on ACE Bench. Asked the AI agents to open up the preview for the ACE Bench app, and we ran into a different problem entirely. Wait, what happened? You can probably ask Conductor to make an MCP that ACE tests. We do have an internal MCP. I made zero changes. I only read the modified files currently in someone else's in flight work. That clarifies which release contract applies to what, and I want to state it is back so we're aligned. The one piece of this work that would go through the ACE dev flow is the fix I proposed to ACEs. Let's go new. Please. Wait, this one is inside of. All right, let's lock in for a bit. Okay. Put something on the Discord, not sure if it's normal or not. Yeah, I don't I don't know what to make of that. I don't even know what that would do. So what? These two debate and then they go into the corners and then debate more. We can fix that. Okay. Okay, the next thing I want to do... Actually, I can give that task. User noticed that they could connect agents to their own stage, which not sure what that would do. Could potentially break ACE. All right, let me open up Chrome. I'm going to work on something different. So that's the ACE onboarding. Okay, let's share. More formats. Send to Claude code. Copy prompt. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. We want to do this one standalone. Let's share. More formats. Send to Claude code. Copy prompt. Cool. Let's open up this Claude session. Open up a new work tree / branch. I want to implement this new onboarding flow. Hey, I haven't checked it out yet, Marcel. Apologies. Been a bit busy. Open up a new work tree branch. I want to implement this new onboarding flow I made on Claude Design. This will replace the previous onboarding and needs to be hooked up to properly. All right, send that to Claude. Quick tip, if you're designing inside a Claude design, it only copies one-to-one if you are inside of the Claude harness. For some reason, it doesn't copy one-to-one. If I sent this into Conductor, it wouldn't have copied this exactly. Ends up being errors. Okay, next thing I want to work on. Okay, cool. Now, the next thing that I want to work on, actually I can just, rather than doing that, I can just start a new chat. Okay, now I want to redesign the group chat inside of ACE. The chat functionality is a little poor. It's not very fun and nice to chat inside of. And I think we can improve the overall user experience and UI. and this is probably the main thing I want to take from the new buzz that has dropped from Jack, is I really like their chat feature. Like, I really like it. Just the way it looks, the way it's handled, kneaded out, like, I think it's really clean. So I'm kind of just going to take a screenshot of this. After doing a bit of research, yeah, I really like the Slack chat interface and how it kind of feels and the overall vibe. And I'm just wondering, could you come up with different ways to showcase the new chat feature? I want to improve it. Right now, it feels like we got a good base. You know, we're able to tag agents. We're able to isolate them inside separate chats. It's a good base, good foundation, but the actual chat functionality itself and how it feels and looks isn't very good. And so I want you to come up with a few different ways that we can make the chat look nice inside of the board and also when it's fully expanded. All right, how should Ace handle connecting an agent back to its own stage? Reject the connection, make it a real single stage loop. I mean, it could be a single stage loop. That's true. Keep the edges as a harmless voice edge, but stop coloring it like a loop. Treat a stage self loop as iterate this stage n times. We could do a loop. Yeah, that's fine. Make it a single stage loop. Found it. This is a real bug in Ace's isolation layer, not a preview problem, and it has nothing to do with your prompt. The second bug was hiding behind the first, fixing it. Opus 5, man. Goated. All right. All right, we've got 4 Claude instances inside the Claude app. Probably full screen this now. So the main issue we're trying to fix is for some reason GStack got involved and messed everything up. Is Claude design. saying nothing. Claude Design is currently redesigning the new chat interface. Another thing as well is like, could it be cool if people designed their own agents? Like, how would that look? I'm kind of wondering in the onboarding if a user could create their own agent. And that's who you see on the board. Food for thought, food for thought. Okay, that's working. Found out the real bug. Reprobing real ace bench isolation. And user code. If you want a clean workspace off current dev, I'd create a fresh work tree. Fresh work tree. I'm honestly wondering, like, do people need to create multiple projects? Opus 5 is cracked, get 100x usage and damn near same quality, right? Dude, I think Opus 5 is better than Fable 2. Yo, Emilio, Bimbe, Jmart. How often would you say you guys actually use new projects over the same ones that you already have? I'm just wondering if we just make it one big canvas with a chat. And then it feels like it's less about the canvas and more about the chat. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking of redesigning Ace entirely. Like, I don't know if the actual project... Because see how here, it's like you have your space. And it's just your space. You don't have multiple spaces. I mean, you kind of do here, actually. And it makes it feel like a minimal... Yes, I need multiple projects a lot. Okay. I'm just wondering if it's like... See how this is pretty minimal? Maybe we can hide it more like this. Okay, so that's connected. We can do something there if you want. The hell is this? Get rid of some of this stuff. What's my usage at? We are currently at 33% resets in 6 minutes. Maybe you can make projects as an advanced type of workspace, and default basic would be what you are hinting at. It just looked like Discord LMAO. True. You've got different servers. Because I kind of want users to build a relationship with their agent, guys. I'm having this thought where inside of Ace, right now, every single agent is different. But what if you just created an agent team and they were kind of relevant throughout the any project that you made? So for example, you could name this guy Michael, and you like customize Michael. Maybe you give him a different haircut or whatever, and you say Michael's always going to be a Fable 5 model. I've just realized we don't even have Opus 5 inside of freaking Ace. Let me fix that right now. I'll just do that inside of Claude. Opus 5 is currently out. However, Ace is only showing Opus 4.8. So can we please update it? And also, are we able to create some sort of tool that autonomously does this inside of Ace for us so that Ace isn't fully reliant on me manually coming in and updating the model list? This is a big problem because when new users join Ace for the first time and they see that we don't have the latest models, it's not a good look. What if you just create a parent agent and you just tag it in chat to add it to the project? That could be cool. Maybe you can make projects as an advanced type of workspace. Yeah, I'm thinking just have it upstream from the user's authed model. 100%. I think I might need to play around with Claude design a little bit and come up with some different ways for it to look. So we're doing the Ace chat redesign right now. Maybe this can help visualize what how we improve Ace can look. Okay, so we've got a few options here. This is interesting. Oh, interesting. So you've got different chats. Whoa. This is interesting. Look. You've got decision, ship log, research agent, plan agent. Okay. So signal 2, rooms. Interesting. I don't know if I like any of these. This is probably the nicest looking one. But I think I need to see some more options. Let's see what dark mode looks like. So that would kind of expand into this. You'll be right back on the bathroom. Did Claude fix this problem yet? Moving local artifacts aside and linking. Let's see what it says. So this is what the full screen like. It definitely feels a bit bland. What is this? Frame check. Oh, my computer's so laggy. Bro, I feel like whenever I use multiple GPT models, my computer just starts lagging like crazy. action hits the Anthropic OpenAI Google XAI model list endpoint. This against constants.ts and OpenAPI with the entry plus legacy prefill, proven no shifts and then time publish, no runtime risk. Provide API keys as repo secrets. Plus client fetch, new fetch on launch and falls back to bundled constants. Alright. You low-key keep buffering. OBS saying I'm fine. I wonder if it's just my computer just being... Man, do I gotta get a new computer, man? Bro, how much is a new Mac? Macube Pro. Like you get a 16-inch. Say black. Really good standard display. What's this one? Further reduces glare and reflections in bright light conditions. Or I mean, if I'm working at a cafe or something, like you. Chip, choose from these powerful options. M5 Max chip. Our most advanced chip ever, built for a pro laptop made to power the most extreme workflows. I'm using OBS for streaming, yeah. Select your processing power. In-core CPU 32 core. Let's say we want to test everything. 2 terabytes, we can go up to 8. Damn. 4 terabytes is an extra $1,000, bro. That's crazy. I mean, I guess we can stick to 2. Can you do British English? Pro apps? No. So to get the laptop that I want, if I was to do a trade-in, I'll grab my serial number. Bro, I'm having to drop $7 grand if I want a new laptop. Streaming's very cool right now. That's genuinely because my compute is really slow. Like my whole computer is just lagging like crazy. My computer's just having a fight. GG. GG's, guys. GG's. GG's, guys. All right. I'm going to wrap it up here. Bit of a short stream today. Only 2 hours, man. I think I need to get a new laptop. I genuinely think it's going to try. I got this Mac Mini. So I'm going to try. Maybe I'll start streaming on this. It's got a newer chip. So maybe that would be better. It's only got 256 gigs though. But we can give it a go. And hopefully... I love how there's like just issues on top of issues when I live stream. First it was the internet. We fixed the internet. Now my laptop's just really freaking slow. So we need to fix that. So I'm going to try stream off the Mac Mini next time, tomorrow. Hopefully that fixes things. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Apologies for the poor stream. I think it's Conductor. Maybe next stream I won't even use Conductor. We can give that a go as well.